What's up, people? What's up, people? Yeah, I'm a little early for the job, man. I'm gonna sit around and make a video real quick about work because I don't know everybody's current situation, but as a parent, I'm always watching what's going on in the world for my kids' sake, and so I can better advise them. And also, I gotta stay ahead of what's going on, so I don't fall into some fucked up situations where I gotta provide and take care of my people. So I gotta be on point. I gotta know what's going on. Right now, people were heavily concerned about SNAP benefits, Section 8, stuff like that, which are a big deal, and everything's gonna tie in together. Just hear me out. If you are not somebody who receives SNAP or on Section 8 and think it don't affect you, I want you to understand that it affects everybody, okay? Not just that, while everybody was worried about the government shutdown, government workers not getting paid, and the government workers getting laid off, let's not forget AI technology is now advanced enough to clear out half of most corporations, especially with data entry type of jobs and call center type of, most jobs in a company are not were never really needed. One person could have did the job of 5 people, but we had labor laws and things like that, and people were finessing and negotiating to do less and get paid more. We at a place now where companies got the upper hand, not because they're trying to be cruel and evil, but because once it's once they reach a point where they got shareholders, you can forget about any loyalty or love that they're going to have for their workers. You know what I'm saying? So they have an obligation to keep the shareholders paid, and they will cut your ass. They will, implement AI. They would, buy a few robots before they will give you anything you think you deserve. You know what I'm saying? So outside of Section 8, outside of SNAP benefits, outside of the government's actions, it didn't matter who was in office when it comes to technology and how much it's going to change the world in a foreseeable future. My kids that are in college, even for the degrees that they chose, 10 years ago, I could proudly say, oh, my son is going for this, my daughter is going for this, they going to have some money. You can't say that shit no more. You got to be, oh, Lordy, oh, I hope she gets a good job once you get out of that school there with your master's degree or your doctorate degree. I sure hope you get a good job. That's where the fuck we at. You're going to have to be thankful. You're going to have to be, doing motherfucking offerings to whatever God you got. You have to cut chicken heads off and light incense and chime bells, whatever the fuck you got to do, because it's going to be a blessing to have a job, and a job that pays well, and a job that has actual benefits and retirement, jobs that you can actually have some form of confidence that you can, buy and do the normal shit. Because that's another thing I'm going to bring up. Even if you think it's all good for you, even if you think you're untouchable, even if you're wealthy, even if you say, you know what, I got about $2 million in assets, I got liquid fund, I got a few $100,000, I got, mutual funds and stocks, and I have a business that's thriving right now. Don't you get cocky, motherfucker, because when the workers stop working, the customers stop customering. So everybody that got businesses and everybody think that they are recession proof and all that shit. Once the workers stop working, and these are the consumers, these are the people that are driving these businesses to even make a profit. Once they stop buying shit, it's a wrap. And the only people that will survive is the big corporations, the Walmarts, the Targets, the people that can afford to have the cheapest price. They already been killing mom and pops, any kind of business. Now, mind you, I will say they have went so far off track where the quality have suffered so bad. I think a lot of us that can afford it already started to go to the mom and pops and support the local restaurants and businesses because the quality is better. But can they sustain their light bills and their gas bills and their high leases? Because the buildings are costing more money. They can't afford the fucking location. You feel me? So this going to be a big trickle down effect from housing to, unemployment going to go up, and it's going to consistently happen. Like, it don't matter who in office. This has shit to do with who's in office. I don't care what y'all think, what y'all political leanings are. This is just what's happening and going to happen. So you better know that. You better stop buying anything that's unnecessary. I just bought the last stupid purchase I think I bought. I bought a couple stupid purchases. But I bought a $2,300 ring because I was drunk in the jewelry store. Me and wifey went to the mall one day on some, let's go to the mall. We ain't got shit to do. Let's just go look around and shit. And we go look around. She got 2 pair of earrings. I got a ring and a necklace. Okay. This is the crazy part. I made her take back one of her pair of rings. I know y'all gonna be like, damn, AP. She literally bought the same shit from 2 different places. I'm like, this is the same shit. You know what I'm saying? Take these ones back, man. And they didn't. And once she had them on at the house, I was like, it wasn't hidden for the price. I was like, let's not do that. So then I was even considering taking my ring back. She was like, no, I like that. You don't ever buy yourself nothing. I was like, well, fuck it. But then months later, and I'm spending money on my kids and spending money on other things. I'm like, man, I would have much rather spent that $2,300 over here than buy a fucking ring. I already got rings. I got some nice rings. So I was like, why the fuck I buy that one? Because I was drunk. All that frivolous spending, that shit is out the door. I don't want to buy nothing new. This is another thing that happened. Last year, my wife wanted some new washer and dryer. We had 2 perfectly good working washer and dryer that we had the whole relationship. Mind you, I done been with my wife for over 10, 15 years. I don't fucking know. A long time, goddammit. So over 12, 13 years, I'm sure we had these in use together. Mind you, we had those washers and dryers was probably still 15 years older than that. So we talk about some 25, 30-year old washer and dryer that work like champs, right? So she just felt like, you know what? I want some new cool shit, right? And, I'm like, all right, whatever. She picks out this little newer technological ass, digital ass, over the top ass bullshit, and I didn't care. As long as she was good with it, I was cool with it. She's the one to do all the fucking washing. Man, no fucking washing machine in probably 6 months, 5 months already needed to be repaired. $200 some for a repair. And it wasn't a repair because the mechanics of it was fucked up. It was some digital shit. It was the sensor was reading that the door wasn't closed. Some stupid shit like that. I'm like, here we go. Now we got these bullshit ass made machines that are so sensitive because they're, too computerized that they're going to be, they're not going to last. So here we are a year later, the dryer started to sound like a motherfucking a garbage truck going down the street. You know what I'm saying? Just clanking and bunking around and shit. I'm like, oh, here we go. I'm not no hand. Let me not say that. I'm handy enough to fix something. I ain't patient enough to fix shit that I could pay to get fixed. So I told her, I said, just call and see what they talking about. Here's my card. Goddamn, get the shit fixed. I know we need it going. We wash too much clothes. They told her 300 something to fix the dryer. And she thinking, she did some research. She thinking like, it should only be one of these 2 or 3 parts. That's only $20-something. So that, shout out to wifey for being frugal like that. She like, nah, I'm gonna try to fix it. So I wake up one morning, she in the basement with her legs spread open with the whole motherfucking dryer bust down and shit to the studs. I'm like, God damn. Okay. She puts it back together. The shit was louder. She must have forgot to lube that shit, but it was louder. So now it still wasn't working. So now we had the option of finally calling the service people to pay $3 something to fix it. She said, man, we could get a whole new dryer for like $5 something if we go get like the older style ones with the pull knobs and all that. I said, well, I prefer that because I don't like technology. I am still an old head at heart. I feel like technology cripples us. It makes things where we can't fix shit ourselves. We can't build it if we needed to. Nothing is made strong enough to last you any significant amount of time. So it's like, I don't want this new shit. Even my car, I played myself with my car. I love it, and I do enjoy it. I like it, but it has too many bells and whistles that I would never use, and all those bells and whistles could end up being a repair. Same thing with certain phones. So many bells and whistles. Your phone don't even operate well. It's updating itself every 3 fucking it's just too much, right? So, long story short, we go get an old school fucking dryer. And the story about the ring, the story about the wash machines, and even my car, you compare that with the fact that no job and no industry is certain anymore. It ain't for show money like it used to be. It ain't, these systems and things ain't strong enough to just bank your life on. Even getting in a 30-year mortgage is not even wise. It's like, shit, will I have a job in 10 years? Will my company close in 10 years? Will my industry change in 10 years? You can't even think 30 years ahead no more. You got to live day by day. So that means you got to be conserving your money. You need to be very careful on what you purchase, why you're purchasing it. You need to know it. We need to learn our own appliances and how to fix our own house, your own car. And that way, because if you never know what situation you're going to be in, you at least should know some basics. You know what I'm saying? Change your own oil, change your own alternator, change your own battery, things like that. Obviously, if you're a single woman, I think you're very capable of doing it. My wife likes to do that kind of shit. So I'm saying the world has changed is what I'm getting to. If you got a job, keep that motherfucking job. Keep that motherfucking job. I don't care if you have a business and it's doing okay now, get you a motherfucking job. I don't care if you got a business. Get you a motherfucking job, even if it's a part-time job. Go work for somebody else's business. You need another form of money coming in just in case. You know what I'm saying? And it take pressure off. When you got something else to look forward to, even real estate. This is another thing. Since I was talking about Section 8. How many landlords' whole business model and when building a portfolio of real estate was banked on Section 8. They said, okay, the numbers only worked because they expected to get a certain amount of rent based on, I gotta make sure nigga ain't late to work, based on what the market would yield from the government paying a voucher. But you didn't consider that one day the government might stop paying that voucher and now your 2-bedroom ain't gonna bring $1,700 or whatever the fuck you got for it. It's only gonna bring maybe $1,400, depending on where you live. and the location, or, I'm just giving some numbers out. But now you cannot afford the mortgage because you did your numbers. You kept your margin so tight. So now you like shit. Now you in the red trying to pay the mortgage. That's why landlords ain't being budging on shit when it come to rent. They can't afford the houses that they got. So anyways, man, I'm going to cut it short because I do got a job. I'm actually coming in early to help a coworker so they can take off a little early. So I'm finna go get this money, and I hope y'all getting some money and y'all is considering what I'm saying. Okay? All right? Peace.